Sometimes it can feel a little weird sliding into someone's DMs. Almost like, ooh, are they going to come in and creep on me? Or what is really happening here? Or on LinkedIn, especially right now, it feels like they've got a huge DM problem of just people showing up randomly and saying like, hey, come buy from me. And it can feel a little bit like this is my personal space. It's almost like you texted someone or just kind of shown up at their office and knocked on their door and said, hey, how's it going? You want to talk one-on-one with me? The DMs can feel like a really personal space, but I got to be honest with you, it's where the magic happens. How can you show up in the DMs and be welcomed and make more sales? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode.
This episode is brought to you by Metricool. From planning to publishing to understanding what's actually working, Metricool gives you data-driven control. And with their built-in AI tools and competitor tracking, you'll stop guessing and start growing. Just click the link in the show notes for 30 free days of premium access and make sure to use the code Katie30. All right, let's get into today's episode.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Today we're sitting down and we are going to slide into the DMs with one of my favorite people who, she hangs out in the DMs. She makes her business in the DMs, and she makes all of our lives a lot easier because of her business in the DMs. Yes, today we are sitting down with my friend Jenna Larson. She is the co-founder and coach of a tool called Group Track. And I was introduced to Group Track a few years ago, and it is a game changer. It's a social CRM, and it helps businesses attract more clients from social media, and get this, without ads, without massive follow-ups, and without having to go viral. That's why I love Jenna so much. So everything that Jenna teaches and what Group Track does is all about organic strategies. So Jenna, thank you so much for joining me on Rocky Mountain Marketing today.
Hey, so glad to be here.
Well, and you live in Southern California. You and I met through the amazing Molly Mahoney when I was in her mastermind program, and I got turned on to Group Track then. And it really is a bit of a turn on, let's just be real, because it is such a great tool. And before we dive into all the magic that can happen in the DMs, what really steered you towards starting a SaaS social CRM company?
Well, a complete accident. Honestly, it's like those are the greatest stories. I had a totally different business where I was basically teaching online business owners how to work a CRM or a follow-up system, because I know from all of my experience in corporate that it's not about trying to get new clients. It's really about keeping the ones you have paying. And so I was teaching these people how to get leads and how to have conversations and serve and, do all of those things. And what started to happen is that my clients were like, oh my gosh, this is working. I'm getting more leads. I'm having more conversations. I'm making more offers. I'm making more sales. But then they were having this massive problem, which was that they couldn't keep up with it. They're like, this is really great in terms of results, but I'm losing my actual mind because as I'm in the DMs, I can't keep up, or I'm losing people, or I'm forgetting to follow up. And so, I was driving one day and I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. This is the answer. And so I called a guy whose name is Nathan. He actually had a different company. I was his coach on how to sell online. And I was like, oh my God, Nathan, I have this idea. We need to build a system or a follow-up software that lives where your people do, which is on social media. So instead of having to go copy and paste leads from your Instagram onto a spreadsheet and then do the same thing with your DMs or copy and paste into your email system, let's build it there and have it integrate right where you're working. And so we launched Group Track 5 years ago, and we joke again that it was a total accident, but it was really built out of a need, especially for me and my own business and our clients. And yeah, in 5 years, it is turned into something that we could have never imagined. But I think the answer is my need and the need of our clients was so much bigger in terms of the industry than we ever realized. So it's kind of an accident, but an amazing one.
Well, it was an accident because it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that with what you created it's the perfect marriage between how you can actually use social media as a business owner, right? Because going viral, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'd love to have one of these clips, from my podcast go viral and it's oh, now I, got 1 million downloads a week. But I also would like to win the lottery.
Right.
And that's kind of what going viral does. And so I think that with what Group Track does, it allows you to show up as a business owner and use social media as a tool.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about how you can show up in the DMs and not feel super sleazy, because
Yeah.
what Group Track does, it does make it feel very organic. So let's talk about how you can actually show up in the DMs, not feel like a creeper, and have people actually say like, "Oh, well, I'm so glad you showed up here. I'd love to have a one-on-one conversation with you."
Yeah. And it's so interesting. I want to just like pause on this piece that you said about going viral, because I think unfortunately that's what everybody's telling you you need to do. And
Yeah.
for everybody listening, I just want to share this one stat with you, because I feel like maybe that will like level the playing field a little bit and kind of show you the truth, which is that you don't have to go viral. So I know Katie kind of mentioned, we collected last year over 1.2 million. The beautiful thing about that revenue is that we did it with zero ad spend, a low ticket offer. So we're not selling like a 10K program. We did it with a $157 program. And we have one team member that helps me actually do the outreach. So we don't need to have like a huge team. We have a very small following on social media. That's what's also crazy. My Facebook group has 5,000 members. My Facebook personal profile has 7,000. My Instagram, you guys are going to die. Well, it's new, so maybe that like makes me feel better. But I think we have like, I don't know, 200 followers. Like it's bad. It's new, to be fair. Like I'm going to give myself a little
Right, and
credit.
but that's the thing, we all start somewhere, and I think that a
Right.
lot of times I love the fact you said we have 200 followers, but we just started. It can be very sexy to wanna just go ahead and buy some followers, but
Ugh,
trust me,
for
never
the
ever
love.
do that, ever.
Yeah. So the reason I share, right, that we did that revenue with a small following, small team, low ticket offer, and no ads, because I want to make sure that people realize you don't have to have those things. And I think it's really unfortunate that there's a lot of people out there saying that you need followers, and that makes really bad behavior, which is buying them. If we could instead say, wait a minute, think about the classic funnel. All we need to do is get leads into the funnel and then to actually follow up with them so that they see more of your content, they feel comfortable in the DMs, and they actually convert into clients. So what we teach people is like, I don't care if you have 2 people, 200, 2,000, 200,000. If you actually spend the time talking to those people, you will see sales. And it's, one of the other things that we hear a lot, and we think ManyChat is great. We think it's a huge, amazing tool. But there's this thought that comes with using a tool like that, which is, oh, they say the keyword, the automation happens, sales come in. And while I'm sure that's true for some people, I want you guys to know this statistic. The likelihood of someone buying from you on the first outreach is like 1 to 5%, right? We know the truth, which is that in order for someone to follow up, and especially if you're higher ticket, you need at least 8 to 12 follow ups. And so if you're just relying on a tool to do one automation and get them sent the DM, you're going to have a really hard time making sales. I am one of those people that is shopping for jeans. And I love when Instagram shows me these influencers and are like, comment this word if you want my jeans. I comment on everything that I want. But guess what? I get the automated DM and no one follows up with me. Not one single person. And I'm telling you, I do this all day long. I'm like, somebody sell something to me for the love. I won't buy from them until someone follows up. And guess what? None of them have, right? And this is the reality. It's like we think, ooh, bright, shiny. I do this one automation, I make sales. Not true, right? So when we talk about how to make money from social media, it's about the conversations in the DMs, right? And so it's like follow up, track the people, have a conversation, right? So the first thing that we teach our people to do is to, number one, let's just track who are the people who are actually following you or engaging with your social media. And reality, guys, I don't even care if you do it on a spreadsheet, right? If you're not quite ready to use a system like Group Track, let's just start with a spreadsheet. grab the list of people, put them on the thing. These are leads. These are people who have raised their hand and said, yes, I want to learn more from you. And especially if they've taken the time to click a button and follow you or comment on your social, they are leads, right? And again, I think it's this idea like, oh my God, I need more leads. I need more leads. No, you don't. You need to follow up with the ones that you have, right? So step one, let's just track those people somewhere. Okay. Then the second thing that we want to do is we want to reach out to them, right? We want to actually send them a DM. And again, in this culture in 2025 and beyond, where everybody's moving to automation and AI, while that's great. And yes, we do have some really cool automation of group track. What sells is connection, right? I want you guys to think about it. Are you going to buy from the person that never talks to you? Or are you going to buy from the person who's like, oh my gosh, hey, I see that you followed me. Thank you so much. We help people with this. Love to learn what you're looking for so I can send you more information that might be helpful. I'm picking that person 100 times over, right? So the first thing that we want to do is when someone follows you or when someone engages with a social media content piece, we want to simply send a message to them in the DMs that acknowledges the behavior that we want them to continue to do. So we're going to say, hey, thank you so much for following name of page. We help people do this because here's the reality. Someone may not even realize what you specialize in. So tell them, right?
That's so true. I can't, well, I can't tell you how many times I start working with a new client when our agency brings someone in. I'm like, people don't even know what you do.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's so simple just to say, hey, this is what we do. But it also, let this be a reminder, Rocky Mountain listeners, that you need to update your bio. If it's been a while since you looked at your bio page and everything, go back and look at it, update your bio. And anybody that maybe it's a good time to do a reintroduction post. So this is who I am. This is what I do. That's just a friendly PSA right there. But let's continue.
Well, I would say, like, let's take it even further, Katie. How about we make a DM that says, hey, thank you so much for following me. In case you're not aware, I help people do this. I'd love to learn what you're working on so we can support one another. How simple is that? There's no sleaze, there's no spam, there's no yuck. It's just simply acknowledging, thank you for following me. We help people with this.
It's so true, Jenna, because I actually ran into somebody that I went to high school with. And to be honest, I didn't know we were connected on Facebook. It's been that long since I've seen anything posted from him. And he's never commented or done anything on my posts. But I ran into him because my daughter plays softball now. And I was like, hey, you own a softball facility. Like, how cool. Like, so we've been seeing each other a lot. And he's like, man, I've been wanting to reach out with you because I want to ask you about some social media help.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know he was following me.
Right.
Like how that's the stuff though. People, they're silent observers, always looking, always watching. This is why it's so important to just continue talking about what it is to do.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we start to realize or like rely on social media to do the work for you.
Yeah.
I do not want to rely on an algorithm. I'm going to take my business into my own hands. Do I hope and pray that my content gets on your feed? Do I hope and pray that you're going to review my bio? Do I hope and pray that you're going to then take action? Absolutely not. I track you in group track. I send every single new follower a message. I ask for them to respond, and then I continue to reach out to serve them. So it's all about that service, right? I'm like, why would I rely on a third-party tool like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn to do my job? My job is to serve.
That's the thing, Jenna. Like we talk about this all the time, or at least I talk about it all the time, that we're building our empires on rented land. And Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of these are rented land. It is extremely important to have a way of tracking these people that are in your rented land system, and when you have, I like that you said, like, even if you're not ready for a tool like Group Track yet, look to see who your followers are, look to see who you're connected with, and put them somewhere just in case, because these are leads.
Yes. So one of the really cool things about Group Track is I can go on Instagram or Facebook, LinkedIn coming soon, and school coming soon. I could click one button and add every single follower to my group track pipeline. With one click, it's going to add everybody there, right? And the beautiful thing is that, let's say I lose my Instagram page, I lose my Facebook group, I lose something. I still have all of those leads. I have all of their information. Another really beautiful thing, especially if you've got a Facebook group, you guys know that you have those group entry questions. In those questions, if you ask them for their email, Group Track will also capture that email and put it into your, third-party email system so you can automate your emails. But again, imagine your Facebook group goes away. We don't stress about it because I have all of those leads, all of their URLs. Anybody who's provided me with an email, I now have them in my email system and in Group Track. So it's like one of those things, like, I stress for the people that are running these big, pages and are not tracking. I'm just like,
Yeah.
God forbid, right? But it's like, why would we not just use a tool where I click a button, everybody's in, and then I can systematically work those leads?
Yep.
And so then, the second thing I would say is, right, we want to do that first outbound outreach. And I'm going to give you guys like the easiest DM you can ever send that is going to like triple your response rate. Okay, you guys ready? Grab a pencil, paper. This is going to be juicy.
Pull over if you're driving, all the things. Pay attention to this.
So when you send that first message, whether it be Facebook group, Instagram follower, Facebook follower, LinkedIn follower, I do not care. This works everywhere. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, name. Let's make it customized. Thank you for following me, or thank you for joining my Facebook group. Thank you for engaging on my post. So whatever they did, you acknowledge, because you want to make sure that they realize this is personal. Okay. You're going to say then, we help people do this. So again, introduce yourself, tell them what it is that you do, and say that you're super excited to help them, get whatever result you help people with. This is like the clincher. Are you guys ready? You're going to say, with all of the algorithm craziness, sometimes messages don't get through. Can you simply reply to let me know you got this? That's it. You guys, I want you to just think about it from your perspective. How many times have you joined a Facebook group, followed someone, and they're just like, hello, what is your revenue? What are you trying to do? How much weight do you want to lose? Like, whatever. And it's like, are you crazy? Right? I mean, imagine if you walked into a store and someone treated you like that. It's wild, right? And so again, we want to bring back that human and put it in the digital world and then automate it. Why not? Right? So like right now, while you and I are talking, I have automated DMs going out. Like, I will send about 150 on Facebook and Instagram while I'm sitting here talking to you. And those are just queuing up my new followers and sending that exact message that I just shared with you. And so the beauty of a message like that is that I'm not asking you to do much. I'm not asking you to think. I'm not asking you to tell me your deepest, darkest insecurities or uncover your needs. I'm literally like, hey, thank you. Sending a message to say hello. Can you just let me know you got it? The likes, loves, thumbs up. Oh my gosh.
Thumbs up.
Thank
I'm sure
you.
you get a lot of those.
Oh my gosh. So, but here's what's happening, right? Number one, they're basically giving you permission to like message them in the future. Number two, that shows the algorithm, whether, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. Hey, these people are now connected. They like each other, right? Because remember, you can only send a certain number of outbound messages. If they don't respond, you can't continue to message them. This breaks that barrier and gets them into a place where you're good to go, right? And then they're going to start showing your content to that person, because now the algorithm is like, ooh, Katie and Jenna like each other. They're connected. And so now Katie's going to see more of Jenna's content, right? And that's a game changer, because guys, aren't you so tired of like doing the content? In what world did we think we had to be like comedians and actors and dancers just to be a freaking coach this day, right? But it's like, if you have to do all of those things, like, let's make some revenue from it, right? And so when we do this, you're going to get those people, they're going to see more of your content, they're going to interact. And now we basically have permission to continue to message them. And so after we've done that, what we do is just a very simple follow-up system and process, which is basically to then say, hey, quick question, so I can make sure that I'm serving you and you being on my page is bringing you value. Can you tell me, are you more looking for help with this, or this? And we literally give them exactly what it is that we serve people on. And I will tell you, by doing it this way, it's so ridiculous the amount of responses we get. People will literally copy and paste what I've written and pick the selection that they want and paste it in. And I'm like, great. But because we have all of this built into Group Track, as I'm sending these messages, first of all, I'm never typing them twice. Every message I send is a message template. I send it out. I just bring them through the process, send the message, right? All of this is being tracked as well. And what's happening is now I'm actually able to uncover their needs in a very non-evasive way. And so they actually feel like answering because I'm putting the words in their mouth for them. If I am at the pickup line at school and someone is messaging me, Jenna, what is your biggest struggle with social media? I am not about to sit there. I'm like holding my phone like I'm really doing it. I'm not about to sit there and write my life story. But if they're like, hey, Jenna, which one is hardest for you when it comes to social media and you'd like help with right now? This, I'm like, boom, number one, right? And so I am able to uncover people's needs much faster, much, more, less evasive, more from a friend place. And then when they give me the answer, guess what? I have a message template in Group Track ready to go to be like, oh, amazing. Here is some training that we've done relevant to that problem. So now again, I'm meeting them where they are. It's like you go into a store, let's take Nordstrom, right? If you walk into a store, the associate's not going to be like, hey, Katie, the bedding's over there. You're like, what? I'm not here for bedding. That is what is happening when we assume, right? And that's what we do, right? But if we're like, Katie, are you here for bedding, shoes, dress, or what? Makeup? You're going to be like, shoes. Great. Here is the shoe section. I'm going to give you some shoes to try on, and then I'm going to follow up in a few minutes to see if you need help buying them. It's exactly what we're replicating on social media, right? So we ask you, what section of the store do you want to go to? Based on what you tell us, we've got a DM ready. We say, great, here's, some information, or we basically bring you back to content relevant to that problem. And here's what we tell you when we deliver that. We say, hey, here's a quick training or whatever that we want to send you. I'm going to follow up in a few days to let me know what questions pop up, or if you need help implementing this strategy. Not, I'm going to come check and see if you want to buy my stuff. I'm going to say, do you want help implementing the strategy I just showed you? Right? So what happens when we do this is, number one, we've told you we're going to reach out. So now we're going to do it. And we feel more comfortable and they feel receptive. We're going to set a follow-up task in Group Track so we don't actually forget to do it or try to manage this all in our brains. And when we actually do the outreach, they're so receptive. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you. Right? But here's the beautiful thing. When I follow up with those people, they're expecting it. And they're like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. I really have a problem. Then my next DM, which by the way, is already pre-made, ready to go, is great. Is this something you want to do on your own? Or would you like to learn about what it looks like to get support implementing? They all say, I'd like to learn about getting support with implementing. And then we move into it, whatever our sales formula is, a sales call. We sell them right in the DMs, get them to a masterclass, whatever it may be. But it's like the strategy is so simple. And not only have we taken the strategy that we've made that is so dang simple, but we put it into a software to help you organize and track. And the beautiful thing is you as the entrepreneur can do it yourself, or you can have a team member do it for you. And so a lot of our higher revenue type of clients, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Can I have a team member do the follow-up? And I'm like, absolutely. We can train your team on those sales skills and they can just do it for you. So it's pretty crazy.
Well, and I like that you brought up ManyChat as well. It was the very first kind of automated DM bot that was out there, right?
Yep.
But this is where I think what you created is so important is it's the follow-up, and it's the CRM, right? It's the system. So we know where everything is, where everyone's going. And, maybe some people are like, man, I've never even really had a conversation in the DMs, Jenna. Like I've posted on social media, like I get some leads from it, but like all of this sounds great, but really will this, I don't get a ton of new followers every day. Let's talk about how you're able to start conversations with those people that maybe they're not getting hundreds of followers every day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you're able to start conversations with those people that maybe they're not getting, hundreds of followers every day.
Yeah. And to be clear, I'm not.
Yeah.
So let's start there, right? I don't get 100 followers a day. I just mentioned I just started my new Instagram page. I don't know, I maybe get like 3 a week if I'm lucky. Like that's the reality. But guess what? I've already made money from it because I follow up. So here's kind of like the touch points I want you guys to think about. If you get a new follower, track message. If anybody engages on your page, so let's say you post on Instagram and someone likes it, absolutely reach out. Thank you so much for engaging with my post about XYZ. I so appreciate it. Hey, while we're here, is this something you're working on? I'd love to, send you more information like this. You're not trying to sell them. You're trying to support them and serve them, right? So new followers, people who engage on your stuff. I mean, here's the other thing. You could go to a competitor's page. You could add all of their followers to group track. If I see a post that's popping and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my ideal clients, absolutely, I'm going to go track those people. I'm going to go to their page and engage with their stuff. Katie, what happens if someone you've never met engages on your Facebook or your Instagram? What do you do?
Who is this person?
Yes. You go look at their page and you're like, who is this person? Right? And then you look at their page and it's dialed in because you've worked with either Katie and I and you know how to have your page dialed in. And so they already know what you do. It's a social funnel sitting there and they're like, oh, wait, this person's cool, right? Let me
I
follow
gotta
them.
tell you, Jenna. So my Instagram, I say this often. I've kind of all but abandoned Instagram, um, but I still get new followers every single day. I
Yeah.
think I'm up to like 8,000 right now. I have not created like genuine, authentic, like this is just for you Instagram audience. Everything's from the podcast over there. I haven't done anything like that in over a year, and I'm still getting fresh new followers every day.
Yep.
Want to know how?
Yeah.
It's doing exactly what Jenna just said. I'm engaging on my ideal clients' posts.
That's it.
They come over and they're like, "Oh, look at Katie Brinkley. She helps people like me. I want to follow her."
Yep.
I mean, what Jenna just said, that is the goal. Like that's the secret right there.
Yeah.
We told it to you. You learned the secret to social media right here on Rocky Mountain Marketing.
You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yes.
But let's take it like one step forward, right? So if I go and I engage on these people's pages, one time is not enough, right? So here's what we do. And this is like the craziest thing. I don't even know if people understand. Let's pretend I find someone's page and I'm like, ooh, I like these leads. All I have to do is hover over the name of the person, automatically add it to group track. Now they're in my sales pipeline, right? They're in my follow-up system. I set a task that is recurring once a week or once every month or whatever cadence I want that is going to say, hey, Jenna, go engage on that person's page again. So I'm consistently doing it. And they're just like, oh my God, who's this Jenna girl? And then again, they come to my page. Now they follow me. I send the welcome DM, done as done. Like it's it, right? So you can do that. Again, Facebook. And here's the thing, right? Like Katie, when you tell me you have 8,000 followers, or let's just be honest, even 880, I don't care. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, do you know how much money is sitting there? Like, do you know how much money is sitting there? If you sat, tracked those people, sent them a message, and got them information, like it's so silly. So, for example, my old Instagram page that we kind of abandoned has about 900 followers, right? Which is, I'm like, okay, if, what Molly always says is if you were in the bathroom with those people, that'd feel like a lot of people, right? So I'm like, wait a minute. So we're on Thursday, we're doing a masterclass where we're teaching this follow-up system. And so I'm like, well, I want to get a ton of people to come. And again, I don't use ads. So what do I do? Well, the only thing I need to do is invite them. So think about this. I have 900 people who have taken 30 seconds to like something. That is my permission, right? So what I'm doing literally while we're sitting here, Katie, is I have my automation going where it's taking my followers and it's like, oh, hey, thank you so much for following me, right? So again, we always give them the reason why we're messaging so it doesn't feel like a cold DM. So I'm going to say, hey, thank you so much for following me at Organic Sales System. I'm so glad you do. As a reminder, we help people with this. In case you didn't see the announcement, this Thursday, we're doing a training on our follow-up system, blah, blah, blah. Would that benefit you? Is that something you'd like to join? They could say no. Guess what? That's great. Who cares?
Yeah.
right? But guess how many people say yes? So many. I have got messages where people are like, oh my God, I desperately need this. Great. Here's the link. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's like, if I could just like lovingly shake people and say like, you just need to follow up and reach out directly. Like again, $1.2 million last year, guys.
Yeah.
Zero ad spend because I just reach out and I have conversations. Like, doesn't that sound amazing? I don't have to learn ads. I don't have to learn all these things. And here's the beautiful thing. Now I'm at a place in my business where I either have group track, like again, I'm like looking at it on my screen, like you guys can see it. I have a DM going right now on Facebook, a DM going on Instagram. I'm just like loving my life right now. So I either have the tool do the outreach for me, and I have a team member who then does the follow up, right? So then I get to show up as the CEO, do the training, serve the people, do what I actually started this business for, not to be a content creator, not to be dancing on screen, not to be, you know what I mean? Now I have a team member that can do that follow up for me. So then on Thursday, when we do my masterclass, I'm going to have a room full of people who want to hear what I have to say. And I'm going to make an offer. And then guess what we're going to do? We're going to follow up automatically, by the way, with every single human that raised their hand and say, hey, is this something that you think if you were able to implement, you would see some results in your business? And the people who are like, oh my gosh, yes, this is the answer. I'm going to say, great. Is that something you want to do on your own and recreate the wheel? Or would you like to learn about how we can help you implement this system using our software? And I can promise you they're going to say the second one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, great. Give me your money.
Jenna, this is such a good episode. And we didn't even get to go through all of some of the different ways of, creating these conversations, moving them through. I mean, this was so good. If people want to learn more about Group Track, maybe they want to come to one of your master classes. Obviously, they should just follow you on social media because, you're going to start the conversation. But
I will.
If people want to learn more about Group Track, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. It's coming soon, depending on when you listen to this episode, to LinkedIn. I mean, like, it's going to be everywhere. And this is the perfect co-pilot for your business. So if they want to check out Group Track, check out Jenna Larson. What's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so there's two really good ways that you guys can learn more. Obviously, our website, www.grouptrackcrm.com. And then the second is we've got a Facebook community that everybody is welcome, whether you use our tool or not. What we do inside there is we give you those special strategies. We teach you how to use the tool, or even if you're not using the tool, we teach you how to do things. You can use a spreadsheet. Again, we don't care. We just want you to get clients and serve the world. So the name of that Facebook group is Organic Sales Systems, powered by Group Track. And you guys are absolutely welcome to join and just kind of experience what it feels like to be served at the level we do. Because when you walk through the doors of our online retail store, AKA our Facebook group, we are not going to harass you. We're not going to be like, what's your revenue? You know what I mean? How much weight do you want to lose? We're like, hey, thank you so much for popping in. P.S. Can you just let us know you got this message? And once you do, then we're going to say, hey, quick question. Which one do you need more help with right now? This, or this. Based on how you answer, we're going to get you content that is free, that is going to get you some results, right? And then we're going to say, cool, is this something you want to do on your own or do you want some help? And that's it, right? It is from a place of service, from love, support, no spam, no sleaze. And the beautiful thing is, even if you never use our tool or implement our strategies, you're going to feel what it feels like to be served and to not be treated like a number, but to be treated like a human. And then you're going to really be able to think about, like, how do I want my community, my followers, my people to feel about us? And hopefully you'll choose that service is the way.
I love it. Well, Jenna, this is such a great episode, and hopefully people you've given us the blueprint to show up into the DMs and not feel spammy or sleazy or salesy, and just to show up and serve. So thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. I hope you're leaving with valuable insights and the inspiration to lead your market. If you've enjoyed our time together and found today's podcast episode useful, I have a small favor to ask of you. Please hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest episodes. And if you know someone who could benefit from these episodes, maybe a fellow business leader or an aspiring entrepreneur, go ahead and share this episode with them. Let's spread the knowledge and grow together. Also, I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation beyond the podcast. Visit me at katiebrinkley.com to connect, to find more resources, or just to share your journey. And be sure to pick up your copy of my new book, The Social Shift, at katiebrinkley.com/book. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Katie Brinkley, and I can't wait to dive into more strategies and stories with you on the next episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Let's keep on taking your marketing to new heights.